So I wanted to come back with another part to the financial education that we're going to be releasing on the channel. And I want to talk about the difference between currency versus money. Okay. So one big component in the differences between the two is money. Looked at things like gold, silver, Bitcoin, and other things can be used as money as well, depending on what part of the world you're located in. But money has a store of value. Currency in itself is something that can be printed, it can be manipulated, and more can enter the market at any point in time, right? So the Fed, like we were talking about before, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, be sure to go back and check out the previous videos when I'm talking about inflation, how it's created, who's responsible for it, and what it does, okay? So the Fed can create inflation by putting more dollars into the system. And when they put more dollars into the system, the things that we want and need don't actually just change overnight. So the demand for the things that we want is still there. You're still going to need eggs, milk, bread, whatever the case is that you either need to consume or you really want to have, all right? Some people might want a new car, but pretty much everybody that has a job or needs to get around needs a car, right? So the wants and needs, the demand for those things are going to stay the same. Therefore, we're still going to have those things be produced. But the supply, how many people can afford to buy those things, are going to increase over time. So if you only have a certain amount of something, but more people can buy it, what happens to the price of that good or service? It goes up. And that's exactly what's happening every time inflation is created. More dollars into the system, yet there's only one iPhone or one pair of shoes per person, right? Or however many shoes are available. There's only a certain amount of that product, good, or service compared to the unlimited amount of currency that's going around inside the system that can purchase it. So let's start back from the basics so we understand exactly what's going on and how inflation impacts the things we want and need, okay? So we start with just, let's say, this $10 bill here. All right. This is currency versus money. So money, we wouldn't have this problem, but let's talk about the problem that currency presents. Currency enters the system. We just have one $10 bill, and whatever it is that we want costs, let's say, $10. Okay. Now we're going to enter another $10 bill into this system. So technically, we could afford 2 times more of whatever it is we were going to buy. So if let's say here it's going to be a bag of chips, we could get, technically if it's $10 per bags of chips, we can only get 1 bag. But now we can get 2. Here's the problem with currency. The bags of chips are going to come at certain proportions. So they have to produce those. They have to go out and make it happen, whether, get the grains out the field, so on and so forth. Take it through the process of it becoming an actual chip. Let's say that the bags of chips don't change. There's still only 1 bag of chips. If I now can afford that bag of chips and I can afford more chips than you can, what's going to happen to the price of whatever it is we want? So let's say I have $20 and you only have $10. The price of whatever it is, if we still want the bag of chips even, just as much, I'm going to do what? I'm going to offer to pay somebody more money for that bag of chips. More currency for that bag of chips than you would, because you only have $10. Now I have 20. I give them $20 for the bags of chips. I now own the chips and you don't. This is also a problem inside of society. So you see where you have different sayings like, well, the wealthy get wealthier, or the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. That's what inflation does. Whoever has more assets or more dollars and more currency to spend, they're going to be able to buy things before you, and they're also going to be able to buy more of those things. So with currency, as you see, more dollars can enter the system, thereby making the price of whatever it is we want go up. If I were to have a gold coin or a silver coin, it simply would be valued at that. The price or whatever it is that I'm trying to buy, let's say apples or those bags of chips, the price might increase by more people wanting them, but the gold coin, how much it costs to buy that, will still stay the same or relative. Remember, currency, what's the major difference between currency and currency versus money? Is currency, more and more of currency can be created over time, and more importantly is that it loses value over time. Remember, there's only 1 bag of chips. The chips didn't change. What changed? How much it costs to buy the chips using currency. If I were to have gold, silver, Bitcoin, or something that stores value, it'll take relatively the same amount of gold, silver, or Bitcoin to buy those chips now and inside the future. And that is the major difference between currency versus money. Remember, it's really simple. Money holds its value. It's a store of value, and it's going to be able to afford you the same amount of stuff that it can afford you today or more in the future. Currency devalues over time. So I'm going to take an example as Bitcoin started out at $5 and went all the way to $59,500 before coming back down in price. It was able to afford you just as much stuff as when it first came out and even more into the future. It held its value and increased in value as things kept going up in price. Yet your dollars, $5 back when Bitcoin first came out, which was inside the earlier, mid 2000s, about 2008. So when Bitcoin first came out from its inception, if you only had $5 or even let's say $10, how much could $10 get you in 2008 versus 2023? $10 today, not even little kids are happy to get $10. And that's because the value of the currency has devalued over time in comparison to money, which increases in value over time or holds a relative value, which is called a store of value. And what it can purchase you, we call that purchasing power. So getting into purchasing power, which is very important, is purchasing power. We'll go ahead and add another term in there for you and kind of add to that education. Purchasing power is simply how much your dollars or money, dollars being currency and money being, gold, silver, Bitcoin, something that has a fixed supply. How much can that buy you at any point in time? That is what purchasing power is. So it's important that we want to keep our purchasing power over time, and we need to do that by having real money or real assets that increase in price over time versus only having currency, aka dollars if you live inside the United States, which devalue over time. And that is the major differences between currency and money. I hope that you guys learned something. Be sure to follow the channel, leave a like, and comment on this video so that we know more of the information that we can get out to you. And be sure to share it so that you can help somebody else learn more. I appreciate it.